As this bear market drags on and Ethereum and Bitcoin continue to go sideways or even capitulate to lower prices, altcoins are starting to become more and more attractive. Now, I've stayed away from putting any significant amount of money into altcoins over the past year or two because I wasn't sure if a Bitcoin or Ethereum had found their bottom yet. And historically, what we've seen is once Bitcoin and Ethereum get hit really hard in price, altcoins take a much harder hit. If Bitcoin's down 10%, altcoins are down 15 to 20%. And so during moments of those uncertain times, it begs the question, why not just hold Bitcoin at that point if it's going to save you money? And so that's been my strategy going forward, is Bitcoin and Ethereum heavy until we start to figure out where the bottom might be for this current cycle. And I'll be completely honest with you guys, before we hop into these altcoins that I think we should be keeping our eye on, I don't necessarily think we have reached the bottom of the cycle, but I do want to make sure I start to dollar cost average into things that I have a decent amount of conviction into, so I have a good chunk of time to gain a position in these assets to where I feel comfortable of that bag size that I could take decent profits down the road during the next bull run. So I'm not dollar cost averaging these altcoins yet, and currently I hold none of these at the moment, but I do think they're interesting. I will be keeping my eye on them, and if we do see another, 10, 20, even potentially 30% pullback for Bitcoin and Ethereum, and these altcoins get hammered even harder, then that will be the time for me to start going heavy into these specific coins. The people that have the highest potential to make life-changing gains in the cryptocurrency space are a part of private discords just like mine. You have access to the best tools, you have access to me and my portfolio, you have access to TradingView algos that tell you when to buy and sell certain coins. You also have incredible access to incredibly experienced investors who you can ask questions to. If you're interested, you can check out the link in the description below. So in this video today, we're going to talk about two separate categories of the altcoin market, and that is going to be Solana and Solana killers, and also layer 2 protocols that live on top of Ethereum. So starting this video off, I do think Solana is potentially going to be a decent buy here coming up in the next few months. Once the FTX liquidations start to take place, that might be a great buy the fear, buy the dip moment for potential investors, and that will be definitely something I'm looking at pretty heavily. But at the current time of the recording of this video, Solana is sitting at about an $8 billion market cap, being down about 92% from its all-time high. Just taking a look at this chart, you could see why holding these certain altcoins probably was not the best idea. But now we're down 92% and the story seems to be shifting. And so when FTX starts to liquidate their Solana, and I'm pretty sure they will start to in the next couple weeks or couple months, I think that's going to be the time that I will probably turn on a little bit of a dollar cost average into this specific coin, because I do believe Solana will be a good contender for this next cycle. They've just partnered with Visa for their settlement layer. They have a lot of on-chain development activity, and frankly, the chain itself processes a lot of volume. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to talk about Solana competitors, aka Solana killers. And so I think a couple projects that we could potentially look at here is, the first one is Near Protocol, and this coin is now currently down around 95% from its all-time high, currently sitting at a market cap of around $1 billion. So I do think in general, I want to have certain sections of my portfolio in certain niches of the cryptocurrency market that I think could do well. Some of these niches are going to include, Solana and Solana killers, layer 2 protocols, which will be the main two coins we talk about in this video, but also gaming coins and gaming platform coins, and potentially DeFi, maybe even wallet coins, storage coins, utility coins. All these different coins could be sectors of the cryptocurrency market that you have some exposure into, so you can ride those narratives during the next cycle. The next coin on the list that is a potential Solana killer is going to be Aptos, and they currently are sitting at a market cap of around $1.2 billion, and they're currently down around 75% from their all-time high. So one thing to note when it comes to Solana killers is Solana is going to have to continuously develop and partner and gain a solid user base, infrastructure, and traction to make sure they don't get overtaken by any competitors. So far, it doesn't look like any of these competitors are going to do that just yet, because Solana is a very strong ecosystem, but these potentially are plays that could play into that narrative, and as an investor, we want to use those momentum shifts to potentially make some money. The last coin being Sui. This is currently sitting at around a market cap of $360 million, so definitely a lower market cap than the other couple coins we've talked about in this video. Currently down 80% from its all-time high, and has processed a decent amount of volume as well. Remember, guys, to hit that like button and subscribe to this channel if you're enjoying this content, would greatly appreciate it. So one thing we need to consider as investors investors when it comes to these altcoins is Solana killers and Solana themselves are all competitors. They're all going to fight for liquidity when it comes to the next cycle. They're all going to fight for partnerships and volume and just market share in general. So you need to make sure you keep that in mind, whether or not you invest into all of these projects and kind of spread out your bets, or choose one and put all your eggs into one Solana killer or Solana itself basket. That is completely up to you, and you're going to have to do your own research. Only time will tell to see if Solana remains king or if one of these competitors or competitors that I haven't talked about in this video end up taking it over. Regardless, I do think it's an interesting niche to keep an eye on as an investor. So next up, we're going to talk about layer 2s that live on top of Ethereum. And what we have to understand is the reason I included both of these in the same video is essentially what Solana killers and Solana are trying to do is compete with Ethereum in terms of transaction speed, how many users they can handle, you know, speed of development, all of those things. And also, most importantly, I think cost. Ethereum is expensive, gas costs a lot. Solana and Solana killers process transactions faster and are in general cheaper to use. And so in the same vein, layer 2s that live on top of Ethereum do the same thing. A lot of them are trying to use that same sort of niche to where, hey, we are faster, we are cheaper, but we also have the same security benefits as living on Ethereum. So that is one plus as to why you might want to go with layer 2s that live on top of Ethereum over potentially different chains like Solana and Solana killers. I think one of the main reasons I really like layer 2s that live on top of Ethereum is I think Ethereum has established itself as a blue chip in the space. I think there's only two blue chips in the cryptocurrency space, and that is Bitcoin and Ethereum. Ethereum has a multi-billion-dollar market cap, and so far it doesn't look like Ethereum is going anywhere. Okay, so the first coin I want to talk about, which is a layer 2 coin, is going to be Arbitrum or ARB, and they are currently down 90% from their all-time high with a market cap of around $1 billion. Arbitrum is used pretty much daily, has a decent amount of volume, and I do think is a decent competitor when it comes to the layer 2 space. The next layer 2 I think we should all keep our eyes on is going to be Optimism. And what's interesting about this coin, and once again, they're at around that like $1 billion market cap, but this coin is only down 57% from its all-time high. And overall, that's a lot less. And overall, that's showing a decent amount of strength in comparison to a lot of other coins. So when it comes to all these layer 2s trying to improve upon Ethereum's scalability and security, I do think these are decent contenders, and we should absolutely continue to look at this niche and continue to keep an eye on it for the next cycle as investors. Next up on my watch list is going to be IMX. We talked about this coin before on this channel, but I do think it's an interesting one to watch because there is quite a bit of on-chain volume. They do have quite a bit of money from VC partnerships and also have partnered with decently sized companies in the past. Currently sitting at around a $630 million market cap, so this is going to be slightly lower market cap than some other of the coins we've talked about on this channel so far, and also is 94% down from its all-time high, which I do think is something to look at. Now, when it comes to these altcoins, whether it's Solana killers or layer 2s or really any coin in general, just because a coin is down 94% from its all-time high doesn't mean it can't go down another 50, 60%, right? So it doesn't necessarily matter how much it's down from its all-time high. I think that's just an interesting metric to track in terms of, hey, this is the potential it has reached. It does have potential to re-reach those heights if we see the same amount of liquidity re-enter the space. That being said, when it comes to altcoins, like I said, an extra 30-40% retrace to the downside is most definitely on the table, and if you're going to dollar cost average into altcoins now, would highly recommend doing it slowly and over the course of many months. Next up as a layer 2 potential solution is going to be Loopring, and this is a very interesting one because I actually had a friend in my real life who bought the top of this thing and definitely took a loss. They're currently down 95% from their all-time high with a current market cap of around 220 million. So this is definitely one of those coins, and you can look at the chart right in front of you that had a euphoric rise and a large dump to follow. And it's just one of those things that as an investor, you want to be buying these flat lines down 90+% or even lower, dollar cost averaging your buys out over time, so you're not the guy putting in a lump sum on a crazy candle wick to the moon and then getting dumped on. And then another option for layer 2 is going to be Metis, and this is most definitely the lowest market cap coin on this list with a market cap of around $50 million. This coin is going to be especially risky and also much more volatile than some of these other coins because it doesn't take as much money to pump or dump the price. Currently sitting at around 97% down from its all-time high. Would keep this one on your radar, but is definitely more of a degen pick. In the future, I want to do different coin picks for certain niches. Just like in this video, we'll do gaming, we'll do storage, we'll do wallet tokens, etc. But I do think this is a decent list if you're in the market for potentially Solana or Solana killers or layer 2 solutions that live on top of Ethereum. Let me know what you guys think of these coin picks in the comments below, and if you have different coin picks, please let me know. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, would greatly appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the very next one. Peace.